right, motherfuckers, we back.
Back at it again.
This is the 2 Cents You Call It podcast.
One time for the one time.
I am your host, Geese, and I'm here with my brother from another mother, L. Double.
What's happening, man?
Shit, same old shit.
We are here again for
toilet paper
on a Friday night for episode number 27, man.
27, man.
Hey,
It's
y'all know what it is out there. Everybody, thank y'all for following us. Thank you for listening to us.
Yeah.
Thank you for pressing play because you didn't have to. So we appreciate you. Just know that we on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. We want to hear from y'all. Y'all know what it is. We are also on all the other platforms for your listening pleasure. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Hey, so let's get this thing kicked off right, man. Housekeeping rules. What's in your glass, brother?
We are I believe we're drinking the same thing tonight.
Yes.
This is going to be a you call it for the crowd.
Yeah.
This drink is a apple whiskey and a champagne.
Yeah, and I gave a name and you gave a name, so we're going to let the people pick what they want to call
it. And it really don't matter what the fuck y'all now. My name is going to be the apple sauced.
And my name is going to be the Cruella because it's going to hit you with the cold shoulder and it's a look classy.
No pressure, huh?
I wish y'all could have just seen what happened because he almost punched a hole in my ceiling, y'all. This motherfucker was opening the damn champagne and damn near popped a hole in my ceiling.
So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's what we drinking tonight, man. Brother, how was your week?
Man, my week, it started off bad, man.
Had a bit of a struggle?
Yeah, because I had too much fun last weekend.
Yeah, and so, well, I think this is something that both of us are dealing with right now. We having weight struggles, brother.
Yeah. So, y'all know I had COVID and I got all the way down to like 218.
Yeah, you was looking like Little Bill with the bobblehead.
I posted that picture. I don't think I ever posted that on social media. But
I'm glad you did.
I look like 50 Cent and all things fall apart. And eventually, I got my weight back, and then
some.
Yeah, and now I got back up to 245.
Hey, same here, brother.
I had to run, but I'm back down to 239. Well, I was before I had them quesadillas.
Well, I'm not gonna put my weight out there right now, but I hit I hit a goal last year, and then I said I was never going back, and I'm back. Back at it again.
I have to be a toddler because every time I get one of these new bottles, I be struggling.
Just twist it. You don't even have to.
I tried it. My hand's too slick. That's why I got to get that auto blow AI.
You're childish. Yeah, man.
Too much.
On a light note, man, you had an interview this week. How did that go?
I did. Man, it was actually pretty cool. I'm not used to really interviewing like that because I've been in a job where I'm at now for like 4 years. So it's always something new and stuff. But I actually was on the interview. It was actually 3 black people, which is like wow.
Applause.
Yeah. So one was actually from Grambling. One was from Jackson State. And the other one, I forgot where she went.
They came through with the swag.
Yeah. And then one was... They both it was two women and one male. Both of the ladies were in sororities that we are familiar with.
Okay.
They'll be celebrating sometime this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's always good to see those people on the other side of the interview. So that means I ain't got no excuse when I can't pull that race card.
Yeah.
If I don't get hired.
if you don't get the job, you just
I was
your
shit.
interview.
But yeah, man, other than that, my week was pretty cool. Couldn't complain about too much and stuff, 2022 is treating me pretty good so
Starting
far.
off on a good foot, huh?
Yeah, man. My mama actually called me about some financial...
Shout out to mama.
Yeah, about some financial advice and stuff, man. It's always cool to...
I don't even want to talk about financial advice to mama right now.
Okay, well, my brother...
but not on my end. But
not on your end.
Nah,
I ain't gonna put nothing out there. Shout out to mama. On my, but she was looking at refinancing some stuff and everything. She wanted to know if she was getting a good deal on it and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's like, yeah, we're gonna put the education to work and stuff, and and stuff, and I actually paid one of her medical bills and stuff for her and stuff because she went to the eye doctor.
Look at you being a good son.
Yeah, man, it's always good to like have that feeling of paying your parents back.
Well, I told you we raising our parents now.
Yeah,
we're doing things.
It's all good. She ain't gonna pay me back. I said, don't worry about it. They be stressing them like, I got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
It ain't that bad, man. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, but how was your week, man?
Week was pretty cool, man. Pretty standard. Everything was pretty much regular for the week. I do have a story. Now you know my nephews are with me, and what my oldest nephew they all have funny personalities, man. And so my oldest nephew today, he was getting ready to go to his dad's house, and so his dad calls him, and he was like, my oldest nephew says, I can't come today because I got apple bottom jean sickness.
Wait, what?
He says, I have apple bottom jean sickness.
What is that?
Nobody knows what the fuck it is, but that's not the part that just baffled.
That sounds like something I got. I mean, you got big booty or something?
That's not the part that baffled me.
I mean, you got your mama hips.
It's not the part that baffled me. The part that baffled me is that his dad was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I have to see you next weekend. I said, wait.
No, fuck you.
You let this 12-year-old just tell you that he had apple bottom jean syndrome? Like, sir, I'm everything in me wants to call you out your name right now. Like, what's wrong with you, man?
Apple bottom jean syndrome.
Yes, bro. The shit that these kids come up with, man. I'm telling you, like, you start watching them and you just be like, why? Like,
that is a new one.
That's a new one.
Where did he even learn apple bottom jeans? Was he alive when apple bottom jeans?
No, I don't even know why he knows what apple bottom jeans are. Like, he's 12.
He had the boots with the fur too.
I just don't get it, man. But yeah, that was a good.
Let me tell you something. T is in the background. Nah. Try not to be on. Oh my.
Man, yeah. So that I had to tell the people about that story for the week, man. But to help us with our topic tonight, we got a guest with us.
I guess.
I want to say hey to Lani.
Hey, it's the third cent in the building.
Hey, this y'all. Speaking of which, let me tell y'all about that story. This was supposed to be the third cent to the 2 cent you call this podcast, and then this is the one that X always talks about went on hands across America. So welcome, Lani. Welcome to the show.
Man, thank you guys for having me. I am happy to be here.
We are happy to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Lani. Lani Shots. Man, y'all, I'm really just a girl out here trying to figure out this whole thing that we call life.
Yeah.
And just navigate it. And navigate it not trying to hold on to the limitations that people put on us, because they'll do that to you. So yeah, I'm just out here just busting down stuff, being like, nah, I'm gonna do it how I want to do it.
That's what's up. Me and Lani have been knowing each other for about 5 years now. She is a coworker turned friend. This is one of my friends, as well as her fiance, one of my good friends.
Yes.
So shout out to y'all, because Black Love is amazing.
Thank you. I love my baby.
Yeah, Black Love is amazing.
But did I tell you about that page? It's called Black Love, and they had a whole bunch of black women with white dudes on there.
I'm going to pass on the topic.
Okay. Just want to put that out there.
But Lani, how was your week?
Bruh, my week was rough.
Okay, talk about it.
I don't know if y'all want me to. But it definitely falls in with our topic for today. But,
okay, so let's just scratch the surface.
Okay, scratch the surface. We'll just say that. Okay, guys, I have a YouTube channel. It's called Outside with Lani Shots, and
Shout out to your YouTube channel.
Thank you. I was trying to finish recording part of it. I believe it was Monday, and I had some anxiety about it. It just came out of nowhere while I was filming the video, and y'all, that messed me up for the whole rest of the week. I spiraled. So, yeah, I'm better now.
Well, we're glad that you're better and you are with us. Hopefully, whatever you have in your glass is making that a little better. What you drinking tonight?
Look, don't tell my psychiatrist I'm not supposed to be drinking.
Oh shit. God. Don't get us in trouble.
So I keep it inexpensive and I keep it what I like. I got that Andre Brut champagne.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That one you get from the very bottom rack at the store. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Brute. Andre, this is your last. Your
Free
one
food.
and your only freebie.
I'm sorry, my
No,
bad.
it happens all the time.
Nah, you
It's
good.
bottom shelf champagne.
So don't go get it. No, I'm just playing. Yeah. So before we get into our main topic, let's talk about a couple of current events that we had for the week.
Yeah.
I'll let you start it off. The elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room. Rest in peace, City Poirier.
Is that the elephant in the room?
That is the elephant in the room. I don't want to laugh about it, but I still felt like giving him his respect. We can kind of put it in his area because we had a whole discussion of how the emotional roller coaster was going to go on this show.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a deep one.
Y'all strap in.
Yeah.
Strap in and strap on if you're into that type of thing.
Oh my gosh.
But the McMichael's sentencing came in.
Yeah.
And I forgot what the other guy name was. The neighbor.
We not even gonna give them time. It's the Arbery.
Well, I didn't want to because he's not on trial, so I didn't want to say.
Right, but we're not gonna say that case. We're just gonna say everything that happened behind the Arbery situation.
Yeah. So if y'all not familiar with Ahmaud Arbery and stuff, he was the runner in Georgia that was killed by
the two men that wasn't minding their fucking business.
Yeah, some vigilantes and stuff, and their neighbor recorded everything. So sentences were handed out today. The father and the son received life, no parole, and the neighbor that filmed everything, he got life with parole after 30 years.
Let me ask y'all: Were y'all surprised when the verdict came out?
Yes.
I'm gonna agree with X on that. I mean, I'm happy about it. I mean, not happy, but I'm glad that it went
Justice
the way
was
that it went.
served.
Yes, but I am surprised.
Me too, and I think it's crazy that we are surprised. Like, should that be a thing? You know what I'm saying?
It shouldn't, but it just is.
It is.
And well, they still have the, I think it was the what is it? Was she the district attorney or something like that? That was pushing the stuff back and trying to hide things and everything like that.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
She still has her case coming up, so I think I'll be a lot more satisfied once everybody that was
involved.
did that, because that goes on a lot more than people like to talk about.
No, for real.
Because although this country is great, there are a lot of things that could be better.
A lot better, of
course.
Stuff. So, and it's not unpatriotic to complain about those things and want those things to change.
Not at all. Because until everybody gets the equal rights that are in black and white, that have been placed into the Constitution, into the bylaws, into the laws, until everybody gets those same rights, I don't think it's at all unpatriotic to want to see that for everybody.
Yeah.
Do we think we'll ever get there?
Not in our lifetime.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see it.
Will there ever be a generation that actually gets to see it?
Who knows? I think once we mix.
I was just about to say, because I think we're getting to the point to where no race is quote unquote pure at this point. Like it's lines are meshing and crossing so much to where I feel like eventually down the line
we just have these racial.
It'll just be American people,
ambiguous people.
Yeah,
everybody's waltz color and looks like a manila folder. That's when we'll all be equal.
That's what we gonna do right now. That's what's up, man. Next current event. You brought this one to the table, X. Everybody's doing the 10-year challenge.
Yeah, man. It's interesting to see some of these pictures. Some worked in their favor, some didn't.
Some of y'all look like it's been 30 years.
It's been rough. Been rough on them.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and it's also ties into our main topic.
Yeah.
Can all play a factor in that stuff, but it's good to see how people have aged. Some like wine, some like milk. But long as you got somebody that likes it, I love it, man.
If they like it. But Lani, you said you haven't been really following social media. You've kind of been off. Have you seen any of the 10-year, or would you post a 10-year?
Okay, so I have not seen any of this, and I was sitting here wondering what the heck y'all were talking about, but I figured it out. I would post a 10-year picture. I would.
X, the thing that's killing me right
Yes. I'll post a 10-minute show.
He was going somewhere else, bro.
That's not what I was about to ask.
Oh, my bad. You know me, I be thotting it up on
Thotty. Nah, the thing that trips me out right now is the fact that 10 years ago, we were in fucking college. Like,
yeah,
y'all were in college.
Yeah, we were.
I was not.
You were not.
God damn.
But no, it's crazy, man. It's crazy the fact that, like, when you look up and where does time go? Like, I cannot believe that it's been 10 years since I've been in college. Like,
that's wild.
That is wild, man, to think about. And some of y'all should have kept them 10-year posts though.
I got 5 more years till where would I be?
Till you a pappy?
No, till that's 20 years.
From high school?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit.
Oh my gosh.
We are the old people.
Wait, it's 20 years for me this year?
God damn.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Ooh,
it sneaks up on you.
It
man.
Does.
But I'm grateful for that, for the experience and the time. I got scared about something really fast. I thought it was about to go left in here.
Yeah, man. 10 years. It's hard to say what I was doing 10 years ago. I think
10 years ago I was giving lap dances.
It's not hard to say. I know what I was doing 10 years ago.
10 years ago, I was in my spring semester of my senior year. I did an extra fall, so I guess this will be the first semester.
Hey, brother, I ain't judging. I did about 5 extra years in college. So,
Lani, what were you doing 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I was training to become a firefighter. Yeah, I was engaged and got unengaged. Once they realized I was going to make it. He wasn't really happy about me becoming a firefighter. So, yeah, gosh. Clear as day, I can remember.
Did you run off the field like AB?
What?
I'm out.
No.
She said she got unengaged, and that brings us to our next tournament.
I did.
Next tournament, because AB told us if y'all have not seen Adrian Brown, the Buccaneers, he decided that it was time to go.
Yeah, man.
He took his jersey off in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
He said, deuces.
Took his jersey and his undershirt off.
Yep. Throw him out in the crowd. It's like, hey.
And said, fuck this shit, I'm out. Let me tell y'all.
Throw deuces up.
If y'all needed a word for 2022, Adrian Brown gave you one. He said, if you get tired of this shit, walk out on them.
You gonna appreciate me.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey. He said, I'm sick of the shit. I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah, you don't know. It hasn't come out exactly what happens, like 15 million stories and everything, but I think the first thing everybody got on was his mental health. Yeah,
and so that's gonna bring us into our main topic for tonight, because I think all three of us, this is a topic that we've all dealt with in some form, fashion, or capacity. We're gonna talk about mental health tonight.
Yeah,
and
so somebody pass me my tissue.
Don't start your shit.
Nah. So I guess we can start with diagnosis, or when we first encountered our mental health. Okay.
So Lani, I'm gonna start with you because you're the guest on the show, and it's a reason that we wanted you to be a guest on this show.
Because never mind.
Because we definitely had multiple conversations about this. So tell us a little bit about your experience with a battle with mental health.
Y'all, the struggle is so real. I will say for me, it started around the age of 25.
Okay.
I believe that's when I first started having like suicidal thoughts. But it wasn't until... when I was a flight attendant, so I don't know, I was maybe 33, I don't know, when I feel like it just kind of got really out of control.
Okay.
And when I actually went to go talk to somebody to seek help and actually get diagnosed. So, yeah, it's crazy because I feel like growing up, I feel like I was just like a regular person and just, happy go lucky. And then it's like all of a sudden, like you're different.
Switched in it.
Literally, it's like a switch. And yeah, I keep trying to figure out how to get.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Yeah.
I keep trying to figure out how to get back to that person, but I think it's just about navigating it, and I don't know.
So it just kind of, it's something that kind of came in your adult. And let me ask y'all this question. Mm-hmm. Do you think a lot of mental health issues or situations manifest in your adulthood that could have been something that stemmed from your childhood? Or do you think that your circumstances or experiences that you went through as an adult were the trigger?
I would say this. Growing up in a black household, we usually don't talk too much about mental health. Mm-hmm. And it's really just become popular. I don't even want to say popular, but it's been more discussed now that we've gotten older. Normally it'd just be, you need to pray it off or something just ain't right. He can't get right. Something like that. Or you just in a mood or something like that. And we just now started getting to the point that we discuss it. So we may have had those issues when we were younger. And we kind of just blocked it out or put it in a space where we just kind of threw it to the side. Yeah. And then once we got older enough to kind of express that, we found out, okay, that's what it is. That's doing that.
Lani, what do you think about it?
I feel like it's both. I feel like there are things that have happened in my adult life that have definitely been triggering. But then I also think back to, growing up and being in high school. And I feel like, your parents teach you what they know because that's the best that they know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there could have been a better way to handle things. Like growing up, it was a lot of, you fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, sometimes faking it till you make it is not going to, it's not beneficial. You know what I'm saying?
Until you drop.
Look. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay. I think I'll agree. Like for me, and so let's break it down, right? When we talk about experiences, because I think all three of us have three different type of experiences as far as mental health battles are concerned. For me, the time that I dealt with it, or the period of time, or maybe I'm still dealing with it, but the period of time that it started, it was circumstantial, right? It's not something that I feel was hereditary or something I feel that just happens to me. And I guess I'll say that what I'm going to speak on is depression, right? Mm-hmm. And I guess I can say I felt like I was depressed twice in my life. One of those times was in college, just because when you're in college, you are learning, right? Mm-hmm. So many things. You're learning how to be an adult. You're learning how to juggle. You have classes.
Right around the time you find yourself.
Yeah. You have so much going on. And so I was in college and I was dealing with my classes. I was dealing with my extracurricular activities. I also had a job. I had two jobs at the time. So I could support myself and, the necessities that I needed in school. And so everything just kind of became overwhelming. It's kind of like when you're doing so much, mm-hmm. and then you get to a point to where stuff just starts falling on you and you're just like, it spirals, you look up and you feel like you're just underwater. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was what happened to me during that time, which was probably around the 2010 era, or 2011, I would say. And then it happened to me again 2014, 2015. And that was just because I experienced a lot of death close in time. And it was a lot of people that were close to me. And it just, again, it was one of those spiral moments, you know what I'm saying? That sent me into probably what we talk about now, which is one of my issues. Like, we talk all the time, like, I don't get emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't cry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I haven't cried in probably 7-8 years. It just doesn't happen for me. And I think at the time, it was a coping mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the time, everything had happened so close in succession to each other that it was just a coping mechanism to stop feeling at that moment. And then it just became a way of living. You know what I'm saying? So that was for me. Like I said, for me, everything was circumstantial. Now, Lani, for you, chronic versus circumstances, what do you think? Do you think you have a mixture of both?
Yes. Definitely a mixture of both. But I guess should I just talk about the chronic instead of the...
You can talk about both. If you want to.
So, life is life, right? We never know what's going to happen, and things happen that are out of your control that you don't understand, and sometimes you aren't equipped to handle it. So for me, there was a time, a long time ago. I got pregnant with twins. I wasn't ready to be a mom, but I was like, okay, I've always wanted to be a mom. I'm going to do this. I'm okay. And I was already going through, my mental health, but I was like, I'm going to be good for these babies, And then I was 4 months pregnant and I went to my checkup and neither one of them had a heartbeat. They just dead in my stomach. So in my womb. And that was a really, really rough time. And so I would say that was a circumstance that I had to deal with, and I'm a lot better now. There was a long period of time where I would just see a pregnant woman, I just bust out crying because it just hurt so bad.
Yeah.
But the more chronic thing is that there would be times where like I'm just really happy and I'm feeling great. I can remember I used to be a flight attendant. I remember, being in the airplane and I'm serving beverages and I'm feeling good. And then literally the next moment, it's like my whole demeanor just like changes and I'm annoyed and I don't want to be here. I want to go home and I don't, I'm just not happy. And I would wonder like, what the heck is happening? Like, why do I feel this way? Like, there's nothing literally that I can pinpoint that would make me, like, nobody said anything to me. Nothing happened, but I felt the shift in my energy. And eventually I went and got checked out, and that's how I found out, bipolar or whatever. But yeah, it's both. It's both.
Okay. X, what about you?
It's hard to say when exactly it started. But I would say it was probably in high school that I started experiencing depression.
Okay.
Because my mom, she actually noticed it. And a lot of time with depression, you won't notice it yourself.
Right.
Your family, they'll notice like something's off about you.
Yeah.
And they'll let you know. So I had been going through a lot of stuff. So when I graduated from high school, I ended up going to Midwestern State. Some things happened out there. I ended up leaving there and going to a junior college. Ended up at junior college. Things weren't going the way I wanted. I didn't feel like playing football anymore. Ended up graduating from there, moving back home. And then I ended up at UT Dallas. At that point, it was probably about 2013. And let me tell you, I graduated high school in 2007. So it's a long time.
It wasn't too long, no.
That's 6 years.
Yeah.
Of being undiagnosed.
It's your journey, man.
With anything and stuff. But it was probably 2013, 2014 and stuff like that. It was probably 2014. Because I had moved to Richardson at that point. And my friend had passed on Christmas Eve. And that was probably like one of the major times where I just like got depressed. But I didn't know what it was. Like I didn't want to clean up. Didn't feel like doing anything. Really didn't feel like going to work. And I would just sit there and stuff. And I hadn't talked to my parents in probably about a month and stuff. You already know I don't talk to people like that anyway. I can go a week without talking to somebody and calling me. I'm like, oh, what's up?
Yeah.
I was just chilling and stuff. And my dad came to the door and he knocked on the door and I didn't feel like answering and stuff like that. And then he went around to the front door and he knocked on that and I didn't feel like answering and stuff. He called me about 6 times and stuff. I didn't feel like answering. So he came in. Eventually he came back and then I let him in and stuff and we talked like that. And my mom, she just was like, no, you need to go get checked out. You need to go get checked out. And eventually I went to go get checked out and they did a test on me and stuff. And they have a scale. I think it's like 1 to 20 on the depression scale. And I was like 17 or something like that. So they started off by giving me basically like Prozac and stuff like that because they didn't know if it was just seasonal, if it was something that had happened and stuff. But my mom, she had noticed the change in me a long time ago because she used to be this happy kid, and then all of a sudden you used to go to your room and you close your door. You don't want to talk to anybody and stuff like that. You stop talking and stuff like that. And when I finally got checked out, I was like, okay, and stuff. And when I first started the medication, I didn't like it. Just made me feel funny and stuff like that. And then some days I'd be like, oh, now I see rainbows in the cloud and stuff, and I just be on top of the world and stuff like that. And I've had my journeys with being on and off medication, which is what I try to tell certain people that I know, like, you know, if they say you need to be on this medication, then you need to stay on this medication because at any point, you know, it can go left like real quick. Yeah. And like Lani said, you know, I can be out and then for no reason, I'm like, you might just blame it on your social social meter just draining and stuff.
But that's not it.
Yeah, it's like, nah, I don't feel like being here. Yeah. And stuff. And you can feel alone in the room when you're in a room full of people and stuff like that. So it affects people in different ways. But with me, my biological father, he actually has chronic depression as well. Yeah. And they think that's where it is. But I do also have other things that kind of hit on that as well. So, I mean, it's always good to actually go to counseling as well. But that was my first realization of depression.
So you kind of touched on it a little bit. You said, you know, sometimes a lot of times the person that's going through it or the person that's in a depression at that point in time doesn't realize it. Lani, what did it look like for you? Was it something that you realized, or was it something that people around you started to notice, and then you was like, man, like maybe I am kind of, you know, tripping sometimes, and not trip. I don't want to say tripping because I don't want to downplay it at all because mental health is like serious shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when you are dealing with it, like it sometimes people might feel like you tripping, but you're not. Like you just going through something. So what did it look for? I guess from the circumstantial part, what did it look like for you?
Well, it was actually, okay, so shout out to my college roommates. When I was a flight attendant and I moved to Arizona, she was actually living in Arizona doing her medical residency. And so I got to see her all the time. And so we would hang out. And she was the one that actually brought it up to me at dinner. We were actually at Lolo's Chicken and Waffles in Phoenix. Yeah. And she brought it up to me that she thought that, you know, maybe I might be bipolar or have some things going on. Okay. Just because of how she saw me interact. And I know for me during that time, it was rough and I didn't want to do anything. And I was a flight attendant. I didn't have any money. And literally, for the most part, all I wanted to do was just drink and stay at the house, which obviously is not healthy. But she was the one that noticed it. And it was because of her that I actually went to go get checked out.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. It definitely feels like you just living life and you just like, I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm just in a mood today and stuff like that, but you don't really see it.
And I was gonna say that, like, I feel like, you know, when it happens, and I think this is let me tell y'all, I think this is a great conversation to be having, because I think as young Black professionals, this is starting to be a regular conversation for us, but you know, we talk about generations before us all the time, and this was definitely taboo in the Black community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you talk about our parents' generation, like you said, it was always fake it till you make it, or like, you know, ain't nothing wrong with you, like, you know, snap out of it, or like fix your attitude type shit. But it might be something behind that attitude, and you know, there might be a neurological imbalance that's going on, and they can't even control it, or we can't even control it. And I think this is definitely a conversation that needs to continue to be had amongst, you know, young Black people, because we were all, for the most part, raised the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like the generation before us, they knew nothing about this, or they didn't want to admit that they were feeling this way.
They didn't have the luxury to be able.
Yeah, well, I think it's that. But I also think it's the fact that they didn't want to accept that. Because, you know, we as a people, we always want to appear strong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we always we look at mental health like if I'm having mental health issues, then something is wrong with me.
Yeah.
I still look. Yes, I look at myself that way now.
You know, and that's not the case. Like, the case is you just going through some shit. You know what I'm saying?
And let me say this. If you are going through something, and I don't want to say this in a way like I don't care about you. You're not unique. It's very, very what you're going through is a lot of people go through it. They just don't talk about it a whole lot. They're talking about it more, but you're not alone.
Right. And I think that's the biggest thing, is because most of the time you feel alone. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time you feel like I am the only one, you know,
going through this.
And you don't want to talk about it to other people as well.
But
you know,
there's a stigma on it, and you don't want to get labeled crazy or off or whatever. But you know, hey, sometimes it's just the hand that you draw.
Yeah, and just because, you know, you're in a space to where you're trying to deal with something or you're going through something, that doesn't mean it always lasts forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that, you know, this is something that, let me say this, when it's circumstantial, you know what I'm saying? If this is something that, you know, is not hereditary, or is not something that you deal with constantly, you know what I'm saying? If it's something that is happening because of circumstances, those circumstances change. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can always get to a point to where it gets better, right? You just have to acknowledge that you are going through a time. You know what I'm saying? You have to acknowledge it for what it is, trust the process and go through the process, and then actively work toward getting through that process.
Nah, I was just pointing at you because this week when I was going through my whole thing, you know, I just got back on my medication in the beginning of the new year. I said, I'm going to take it every day. And a lot of times I feel like we want a quick fix. We just want to be better right now. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, the medicine helps, but life is life and it's going to happen to you. And you still have to put in the work. Like, you still have to put in the work and do the things so that you can be okay. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like working out and stuff. There's no magical pill. Yeah. You can't just take this pill and then you're going to lose the weight or you're going to gain this much.
Right?
Let me know.
I wish.
Hey, you still got to go out. You got to work out. You got to do all this stuff. And it's the same thing with your emotions and your brain and neurologicals and your emotions. it's the same thing. You still have to put in that work to improve yourself and get to a place where you feel like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. So X, you talked about a little bit earlier about triggers, right? And how, interaction, what interaction looks like for you when you're having an episode. You know what I'm saying? You talked about like being in a room and feeling alone in a room full of people, or what are your triggers, or how, once you're triggered, how does that interaction work?
My triggers, I actually worked on one of my triggers. One of my triggers was seeing my biological father, having a conversation with him. It would always trigger me. Another trigger would be birthdays. You can feel like on your birthdays, okay, I haven't reached my goals that I said I was going to reach. So you feel like you're behind and everything like that. The other thing would be holidays. Certain holidays make me feel a certain type of way right around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Those always get to me because I've lost a lot of family around those times. Anniversaries of rock bottom. Valentine's Days is a tough one. All the holidays.
All the holidays,
seeing certain people is a trigger. Yeah. Even music can be a trigger. So you hear a certain song and it takes you back to a time. You're like, oh shit, this was me and such and such a song and stuff. Right. Or I remember what I was doing at this time, and then you just go down that rabbit hole. It's good to acknowledge your triggers, and then find a way to kind of curb them, or I don't want to say replace them, but associate something positive with them, so it doesn't take you down that road. So even if you do get that feeling, you can always say, oh yeah, but this is associated with this too and stuff. So I think I stayed on topic.
No, you definitely did. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Okay,
today.
You go, boy.
Let me tell you something.
Nah, you're good. You good.
Applesauced.
Kalani, what about your triggers? Like, what are your triggers, and how do they affect your interactions?
So it's funny because I'm listening to you and I'm like, okay, wow, those aren't my triggers. What my triggers are, and I feel like they're very self-imposed. It's my expectation. Okay. And this is something that I've talked with my therapist a lot. Shout out to therapists. You should get you one. It's this idea that I have about these expectations that I've set up in my brain about how things should be or where I should be. And it could be simple things like how the day should go.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't go that way or something happens, that is a trigger and I spiral. And I think that's why I had my little issue this week when I was filming that video, because I was making my vision board, beginning of the year. And usually that's a really happy time for me. I'm excited, trying to figure out what's going on. And I didn't feel excited, and I was upset that I wasn't excited about, planning this year out.
Right.
And the expectation is that, no, this is supposed to be an exciting time.
Yeah, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And this is what you always do. And this is good. But it didn't feel good.
Yeah.
And it just, it spiraled me.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I think I can kind of relate to that. Not necessarily expectations, but I deal with a lot of, my anxiety gets to me sometimes. And we talk about this all the time, because when I start feeling anxious, I'd be like, hey, I am fucking tripping right now. You know what I'm saying?
But is it certain things that make you anxious, or?
It depends. It is, I will say it is certain things that make me anxious. And it can be the smallest things, honestly. Because I'm very impatient. And so when I get into an impatient situation, it makes me anxious. I talked to X about this, and it's funny when I say it, but it really happens. Anytime that I am trying to get somewhere on time, anytime that I'm literally anytime that I'm trying to get somewhere and I have planned to do it.
We had this conversation today.
Yeah.
late for a happy hour.
Well, no, it's not even that.
But it's along the same line.
Yeah, like I get really anxious. Like if I feel like I'm gonna miss a deadline that I placed for myself, and it kind of goes to what you were talking about, as far as the expectations. But anytime I feel like, if I've put something there in place, like I said, it can be something as simple as getting caught in traffic when I'm supposed to be somewhere at a certain time. Like I get super anxious, and it's like I almost
start driving like 1,000 miles an hour.
It's that, and like I physically, it like when it happens to me, like it goes to a place to where I physically get sick. Like I physically feel, nauseous, or like I'll get a headache, or I'll like get hot. Like, and I talked to my sister about this. Like if I get really anxious, like I start overheating. Like I start like it's almost I can't even.
Well, let me tell you something that I noticed about you. I think you don't like not being in control of a situation.
Definitely.
When you feel like you have no control over a situation, it makes you very anxious. Yeah. And you're like, okay, I got to do something.
Yeah. I think that's very accurate. I feel like it almost puts you in a place of being, and I think this kind of touches to what you just talked to. It almost puts you in a mindset of being inadequate, because you feel like I put everything into place and I thought I did what I was supposed to do, but I didn't get the result that I was looking for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And going back to both of your points, we have this conversation. We've had this conversation over and over again. The timeline, we always try to base our timeline on what society tells us that our timeline is supposed to be. And I say this all the time: your journey is your journey alone. Yep. You can never compare it to what anybody else is going. And I think it was maybe the first few episodes that we did, it was like, just because a lot of people are married by 23, kids by 26, 27, house by whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily the standard, nor is it your timeline. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's supposed to happen for you is going to happen for you when it's supposed to happen. And the struggles that you go through on the way to getting to where those goals that you have set, it's only preparing you to be receptive, preparing you to be ready for all the blessings that you're going to get in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So I think we have to stop comparing ourselves to other people.
Yeah.
And it's very, very difficult.
Which is why I'm not on Instagram like that.
But that goes back to triggers, right? You got to figure out what is your trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like social media can be a trigger. Like if you continually look at, and here's the thing.
Quote unquote success. What you think success is.
Here's the thing, though.
They be lying.
People show you what they want to show you on social media. People show you
it's fucked up.
Man, people show you how much money they making and be broke. People show you, all the successes in their life and be, down. People show you, oh, I have this perfect marriage and be about to divorce. You know what I'm saying? Like people show you what they show you the good on social media. You know what I'm saying? And you it's not until you start to get a look into, personal lives and personal situations that you find out, man, that was that was a facade.
You ain't got it all together. Like I would look at my parents like that and be like, oh my God, they got the perfect marriage. And then, but you'll be able to see it and be like, okay, but they went through this stuff too. So it's going to happen. And it's not going to be all unicorn piss and rainbows and, and shit.
Unicorn piss. Okay.
I thought about naming this drink Unicorn Piss, but I didn't think it would be.
I'm glad you didn't name it that.
I didn't think it would be attractive enough.
So we talk about triggers, right? We talk about kind of what triggers us, but let's talk about your safe space and how you deal with those triggers. Like, what are some things? And Lani, I'll let you tackle this first. What are some things that you go to? Like, what's your safe haven? Like, how do you get through?
Okay, so in therapy, I have discovered that there are a couple of things that I need as a basic, as a foundation in order to be okay. And so some of those things are One, I like to be in bed at 9:00 because I need 8 hours of sleep.
We are sorry.
And it is past that time.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So I need 8 hours of sleep. Since I was a kid, like it was 10:00. I knew it was 10:00. Why? Not because I looked at the watch, but because I started yawning and I knew it was that time. So I need my sleep.
In about an hour. So,
I need my sleep. I need to be in nature. I feel like to be in nature is to be close to God. And I don't know like where that came from or how I discovered that, but that is the way I feel. So that is why I'm always walking my dog, trying to go on hikes, trying to go camping, being out in the woods, because it's so peaceful, it's so quiet, and there's something magical about it. I know as Black people, most of us don't like to be out in the woods and nature and all that kind of stuff, but it's just beautiful.
I'll go out in the woods, but it's got to be with a certain group of people of a certain hue.
Okay, so sleep, nature, a tidy space. So I can allow things to get super messy. And, you know, they say that your home, your car, the things around you are an outer reflection of what's going on the inside of you.
Shit. Somebody said that last week.
So it is important that I make sure that things are tidy and I keep them that way, because once my room gets crazy or my car gets crazy, then I feel all cluttered on the inside. So those are just like a few of the things that like I know that I need. And so I try to make sure that like I'm always assessing, like, have I been outside? Have I watched the sunset? Have I just breathed in the air from outside? And I'm like, okay, cool. And then there's other things, but those are the basics.
And then that's what you can build on top of.
Yes.
On that note, I'm gonna give you your flowers for sure.
I get flowers?
Yes. I said it on a live last week, or 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna say it on this show. I want to say that I admire you. And I think you are one of the dopest people ever. So a little earlier, Lani said that her YouTube handle is Outside with Lani Shots. Y'all go follow that. So the basis behind that YouTube channel is she's a hiker. She likes to do trails. She likes to be in nature, like as she said. And so she took, I'll let you tell it. I'll let you tell your journey as far as the PCT.
So last year, I decided to go on a hike and hike the Pacific Crest Trail. It's a trail that goes from the border of California and Mexico all the way up to the border of Canada and Washington. And you hike
This is all on foot.
Yes, you are walking. Everything you need, all of your food, your shelter, clothes are carried in the backpack on your back. And it was the most amazing and beautiful and crazy experience that I've ever had. And if I could do it all over again, I would totally do it again. Like, I really want to. But for me, it was for mental health. A lot of people want to do it because they're like, I just want to, get from the beginning to the end. And for me, it wasn't necessarily about like getting to the end, although that would have been awesome. It's 2,650 miles. I did 1,017. But for me, it was more of trying to get closer to God and to know myself better and to figure out the mental health issues that I was going through and just try to be okay with it, and just be okay with the person that God had made me. And I'm telling you guys, it's just beautiful.
And that's why I want to say that I admire you, and that's why I think you're dope. And I while you were out there, I told your fiance this. You are a free spirit. And I mean that in the greatest way. You have broken outside of the matrix. You do not live inside of the matrix. If you are a person that when your spirit tells you to do something, you get up and do it. No fear, obviously there's going to be fear, there's going to be anxiety, there's going to be whatever, but you conquer all of that and you say, I am fucking going to do this and let's get out here and do it. And you have the most positive, the most amazing attitude about it. And you project that on the other people. Like, it makes other people feel like I can fucking conquer the world.
Fucking
you know what
flying this
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to give you your flowers. I want to tell you are dope as fuck. Black girl magic, because you do shit that people say black people shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? Or black people don't do. And it's like, nah, like my homegirl do all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I want to commend you. I want to applaud you. I want to say that I am proud of you and I admire you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It makes me like emotional because I can remember a time when
X is stupid.
What is he? Stop it. I can remember a time when I wasn't as brave and I didn't do those things. Just like I was saying in the beginning, all those limitations that people put on you, like, oh, well, you're a girl, you can't do that, or you can't go by yourself. And I was like, but no, I really want to, and I feel it in my spirit. When I lived in Arizona, I hiked mountains by myself, and my mom was always upset with me.
Yeah,
but I got
upset with you too. I would have had a feeling like you had fell in the crater and you had to
right,
saw your leg off.
No, but I got so tired of making plans with other people, and then on the day of, they cancel and they couldn't go.
You hear this, Dub?
So now I'm sitting at home sad.
Travel by yourself.
You already know that was one of the goals.
And let me tell you, so being a flight attendant, I wanted to go to Amsterdam. And there was another flight attendant girl, and she was going to go with me, and we had plans to do it. The night before, she canceled on me. I didn't go, and I was so sad, right? But a month later, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going. My mom was very upset. She was like, you're by yourself. You can get, Taken and whatever.
I was just thinking of the movie Taken in my head when you said that.
But I had to do it for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do it for me because I wanted to do it. And I'm just so tired of people saying, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, or you're a girl. And I was like, well, God shouldn't have made me a girl, because guess what? This is what I want to do.
Come on, big dick energy.
And you know what? When I got back from that trip, my mom told me that she was proud of me.
Yeah.
Even though she didn't want me to go and she didn't want me to do it, she was proud that I stood up for what I believed in and that I did it. You know what I'm saying?
That shit goes a long way. Just hearing somebody say they're proud of you.
Yeah. After she was like, I don't want you to go. But anyway, I know that's like a tangent, but it took a while to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't always that way. I slowly... you put the tippy toe of the foot in the pool, and then you put your foot, and then you put your leg. Like, it's been a journey of years of just walking around the block and then going up the mountain and then taking a tiny trip by yourself, and to feel confident to do that. Thank you, I appreciate that.
That's what's up. X, what's your safe space? How do you cope?
How did I cope? I used to cope by drinking a whole lot.
That was one of those.
And people used to encourage that too. But I had to get to a point where it's like, you know what? I don't need to do that anymore, because I'm out here acting a fool, rock bottoms and everything like that.
It happened.
I used to use sex to cope a lot. That wasn't healthy.
How do you cope positively now?
Working out is a big one for me now. Cardio, that's how I always tell you, cardio. Gaming is good for me. It gives me a chance to kind of just block off the rest of the world. Yeah, I can be whatever the game says I can be. Yeah, and be like, okay, cool. If I don't like it, then I can change my situation and play something else.
Yeah.
Ooh, I have a question.
What's that?
Are you gonna get into that Oculus stuff?
Man, I thought about that. I really want to get an Oculus.
I just learned about that, and I'm like, nah, I'm about to go back in the woods, get away from all this stuff.
They coming out. Facebook is now Meta, so you get to. It's almost like The Sims. Like, you get to create another person and you live.
Really?
Yeah, and people are spending like thousands and millions of dollars on real estate.
I don't have time
in the fake world and everything.
Bruh, it's like real.
I don't have time.
Yeah. I don't either.
I wouldn't mind doing like the Oculus for like sporting events and stuff like that, just to have it. But I like to spend money wastefully anyway and stuff. So other than that, music was a big escape for me. Making music or listening to music,
yes,
it's big. Eating. It's not. It's not a healthy way, but it's definitely a way to kind of cope with things. But long as you find a way to kind of curb that and limit yourself, I think it can be good.
It's hard out here.
Coke, no.
Drugs.
No, but definitely therapy is a good way to cope as well. And reading books and stuff. I'm still asking Walt to read this book that I gave him.
What book?
And I told T to ask Walt for this book. He probably don't even know where it is.
I know where it is.
Where is it?
It's in that drawer over there. I promise. When we get off the show, I'm gonna go pull it out. I know exactly where it is.
Okay, but are you gonna read it?
What book is it?
It's Tony Evans' 30 Days to Breaking Emotional Strongholds.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I know the title.
Ooh.
I almost called you something after I said past name and use God name. But yeah, those are some of my coping mechanisms. What about you?
A few of them now. So I'll talk about the ways I used to negatively cope, and then I'll talk about how I have tried to transition to positive coping now. Negatively, I like as you said, as both of y'all said, I used to drink a lot. That's initially how I gained all the weight that I gained, because I was drinking a shitload of beer. Like, I'm talking about I would buy an 18 pack and drink all of it.
Yeah,
by myself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So that was definitely not a good trait. I was overworking, and you know that.
Yeah.
I had a period of time, and I made some good money, but
is it worth it though?
It wasn't. Well, I'm not gonna say it wasn't, because
is it worth your mental health?
It was a trade-off. It was definitely a trade-off.
Mm-hmm.
I was
got more now than.
Yeah, I was able to attain some things that were out of reach for me at the time. That, just getting in my grind mode, it helped me, get to the things that I wanted to acquire by a certain age. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to, letting society put a stigma on you. But it wasn't really society, honestly. It was something that personally I had a goal that I wanted to reach by a certain age, and that coping mechanism got me to the point to where I was able to do it. But in that same breath, I lost a lot of time with a lot of people, a lot of family. I missed a lot of events. Just because I was like, I gotta get it. I gotta stay moving. I need to work this. You know what I'm saying? So, I've learned to slow down, and take time. One of the positive mechanisms that helped me, that actually stopped me from working like that, was this podcast. It puts, and I told X when we started this, this podcast is something that puts something on my schedule that is not taxing for me, that I enjoy doing every single Friday, that is not work. And when I say work, I mean my job and my organization, because I'm always doing something for either one. This puts something on the schedule that is literally for me. It allows me to vent. It allows me to have time to talk out situations. It allows me and my brother here to bounce different topics, different conversations off each other. Like I said, this, when we record this show, it's really not for an audience.
Yeah.
Like, we don't do it for an audience. We literally record, even before this happened. Like I said,
this was birthed out of
out of the podcast. I mean, out of the quarantine.
Quarantine, yeah. Even D over here, he was with us and stuff like that, and we just kind of
this
everything
podcast
kind of just slowed down. We just started recording the conversations.
Yeah, like when we got into a certain time of COVID, it was like that sweet spot, right? It was like the time that we had already gone through the major shutdown, and we were actually able to start going out to restaurants, bars, whatever. We just put it on the schedule every Friday, and we was like, all right, we're gonna go to happy hour here. And these are the conversations that we were having at happy hour. So when I say this podcast is not for an audience, this podcast is literally our friendship, just the conversations that we normally have
being recorded.
Just being recorded.
And with a little assistance from our shot callers.
Oh yeah. Always.
Throw some topics out for us.
Yeah, when everybody always throws a topic out for us, and
Ghost brother.
I have no clue. It just came on, right?
Sitting on the remote.
But yeah, so that was one of the biggest things. This podcast has definitely helped. Another thing that I do that I feel like is healthy for me is just as you do hiking, you like to be in nature. I like to travel. And I said it on the last episode, like traveling for me is a necessity. It's not something that it's not a hobby of mine. Like it's a necessity. Because that's the way that I can disconnect. Like that's the way that I don't have to worry about, any of my responsibilities that are here in the city. Because if I'm here, I'm going to be working on, something, whether it be work, whether it be my organization, or whether it be, anything. I'm going to be focused on that while I'm here. So when I get away, it allows me to completely disconnect.
Yeah.
Outside of everything but my family and friends, because I love to stay connected to the people around me. But
I tell you, brother, you don't have to stay connected to me.
Bye,
do not have to text me. I'd be like, get the fuck off my phone and enjoy whatever city you in.
Yeah, but that's for me. And as always, I even had, y'all already said it. Music. I have a tattoo that says "Music is life" because I can literally change a mood. Like,
I got a tattoo that says "Thank you" on my stomach.
No.
Okay.
No.
So when they finish serving me up, I ain't got to say shit.
Wow.
I'm about to. This has been the 2 Cent You Call It.
Y'all said I ain't talk enough last week, so here y'all go.
You know what? You won't have to worry about being served up because you got that AI thing.
Oh, well, I got that's $300.
You got it.
That's why I told Walt I can't go on any more trips. I got to save up.
Hot mess.
That was my
priorities.
Nah, but
main priority.
Definitely music. Stupid. Music has definitely been, something that mellows me out, or perks me up, or whatever I need in the moment. It's always a go-to for me.
And let me say this before I kind of feel where you're going with this. But another one of my coping. Woo. That liquor get into me. Coping mechanism is comedy.
Yeah.
So I'll joke on myself before anybody else can, and kind of make light of situations.
I will.
And it kind of lets people know, like, hey, I'm kind of going through, but I'm okay. But if you want to check on me, you can check on me if you want to. And so.
Yeah. I think it's a defensive mechanism.
I was gonna say, yeah,
it might be shit. Hey,
but I mean,
it's better than pulling. Never mind.
Laughter is definitely the medicine for the soul. Like it is. Anytime I'm down, I will literally and that's something that I had to learn to do because it felt weird. I had to learn to do that by myself. I had to learn to laugh. Yes. Like,
brother, that's all I do.
No, let me tell you, oddly weird enough, man. Probably about over 5 years ago, like past the past 5 years, I would not watch a comedy by myself.
Why?
Because if I laughed out loud with nobody there, I felt stupid.
Well, why? Why?
I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
all I want to watch on Netflix.
Well, let me preface that by saying that I'm also a middle kid and I have middle kid syndrome. So when you're a middle kid,
you're used to somebody always being there.
You're used to when you're a traditional middle kid because he's a little weird. But when you he's a middle kid, but
on both sides.
But his older siblings
are like super older.
Yeah, like they didn't
Why
really.
You frowning?
My sister is a year and some months older than me.
Okay, that's not that much older.
And I ain't grow up with my older brother. And then my younger brother is 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So the difference in age.
So you're like the youngest, but
I'm nowhere
the
close
oldest.
to the youngest.
Yeah,
I feel like Walter shot it. He's getting anxiety because he's not in control of
negative.
Me and Lani's conversation. Right now. I'm trying to get my point out, but you asked me to talk more. The crowd asked, audience shot caller said, "X, you quiet." I'm loud now. I'm talking now.
No, but yeah,
fuck with me.
Yeah, I'm a middle kid, so I'm used to having people around all the time. So it's like I said, up until maybe 5 years ago, like it's certain shit that I wouldn't do. Like I would not go out to eat by myself. Like I wouldn't watch a comedy by myself.
I do that by myself.
Like it's
you wouldn't smoke by yourself, drink by yourself. Hey, for real.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. Everybody got to continue to work on it.
Bro, we're all working in progress.
And make you cry.
Are you mad? Are you mad because I don't cry?
You know what? That'll like break the
something,
and then you'll just start crying all the time.
Nah, I doubt it. But this has been a good one, y'all.
What if I kill your dog?
Don't kill her.
You know the answer to that.
You stop it. You need to be nicer. He needs to be nicer to his dog.
Nah, but
he's nice to his Peter. He's nice to his dog.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if they listen.
Then nobody can pick me up. But nah, this has been a good conversation, y'all. I feel like it was a little bit of a heavier conversation, but
it wasn't too heavy.
It wasn't too heavy. I feel like it was definitely a conversation that was needed.
I told you was gonna be the one like this.
And a conversation that we can have multiple conversations behind this. I will say that you are two individuals that I am happy to have this conversation with, because we have been very Lani, I think you said it earlier. You think that you're the only one going through at that time. You know what I'm saying?
It was me, but
right. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I apologize, my brother.
Give me my goddamn flowers. Yellow roses if you got them.
But you said that a lot of times we can feel like that it's
not unique.
Yeah, we're going through this by ourselves, but we've all had these conversations to where we have an open dialogue about it, and we bounce stuff off of each other all the time, and we let each other know, hey, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's another coping mechanism, or not mechanism, but a way to cope, to have a healthy coping.
It's always easier to go through things with somebody
else. And that's the thing. Like, you have to have a solid circle around you.
Yeah.
Like somebody that you can talk to with no judgment.
Without them telling everybody your fucking business.
Yes.
Facts.
And somebody who knows or will infer what you need at the moment. Like when I have these conversations with the people around me, the people that are closest to me, and you got something that you need to come to me about, you got something that you need to talk to me about, I always preface it with,
who do you need me
to be right now?
Right.
Do you need me to listen, or do you want my honest opinion and I'm not going to even say advice, but do you want my opinion or my thought behind it? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
facts. Yeah.
You always need, because if it's somebody that's just gonna judge you, stop talking to that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, brother. I'm sorry that I told you I'm becoming the annoyingly optimistic about.
Wait, what?
Take two. Annoyingly optimistic friend and stuff, because you called me last night and I was trying to put the positive spin on it.
Yeah, you pissed me off.
That's not who he wanted you to be.
I did not.
I listened to it for a while. I was like, hey, brother, hey, maybe it go like this.
He pissed me off.
It's like, all right, fuck it. I'm about to go lift some weights. All right, brother, I'll talk to you in the park.
I was like, hey, get the fuck off my phone. But I do appreciate that because and you got to know your friends too. And X knows that about me. I'm not afraid to admit it, and this is something that I'm working on as well. I'm a natural pessimist. I can find the bad part of a situation faster than I can find the good part of it.
Okay. And
so he definitely lets me know sometimes, like, you being a negative nigga.
Oh,
not a Nancy.
Oh shit! He said the N-word on there.
Well, that's because I'm speaking in your language.
In my language. I will let the motherfucker fly.
You're being an N-squared.
I'm speaking in his language. And sometimes you need that, and that's the thing. That's what I was just saying. You need those people around you that can give you that swift kicking ass. Like, sometimes you ask, what do you need from me? But sometimes your friends need to know, if they
let me get you up at this.
Yeah,
this
like,
house,
hey.
Because I know it can go left real quick.
You know what I'm saying? Get up off your bullshit. So yeah, I appreciate that, brother. Yeah. We talked about we all have one thing in common that is one of our coping mechanisms that drank. Which is music. Which brings us to our top 3.
I thought you were talking about the alcohol.
I'm so excited for this.
Brings us to our top 3.
Oh shit, I was supposed to be thinking about this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work my way through this one too. So we gonna let Lani go first. Top 3 happy songs. We talked about coping. Let me know some music that you can listen to that get you out of that depression.
Okay, guys. So my mom recommended this to me. Because she was like, you got to have something that gets you out of that mood. And I was like, whatever. But I finally made a playlist. So I would say 3 songs that bring me up or kind of increase my mood would be, and I listen to different music, y'all, so just bear with me.
Because we was in happy hour earlier today. She was naming them songs. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Boogie.
So, Pocket of Sunshine by Natasha Bedingfield. Yep.
Okay, I know that.
I got a pocket full of sunshine.
That's how we can afford.
Oh, okay. Yes. So that one. Okay. And so then there's one, I listen to the Joe Budden podcast, and whenever they talk about something like that's not really happy afterwards, they play Outstanding by the Gap Band.
Gotcha.
And that's a really good one. And then my third one is going to be Selena Gomez, Let Me Get Me.
Okay. I don't know that one. Not a big
Selena Gomez.
It's on her, I think it was her last album, Rare, but it's just talking about like not letting.
Let me bring this. So you do think that Charlie Wilson can sing?
Bye.
Because I have a co-host. I'm not gonna tell you what co-host it is.
it's the 2 cent you call it.
But he says that Charlie Wilson can't sing.
I'm out.
And he's terrible on his runs and everything like that.
I mean, but does it really matter? Is he selling records? Is he making money? Is he doing what he loves? Okay.
He definitely selling records.
He's selling records, selling tours. And
but
everything.
you also think that the Queen can't sing.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
You don't like her harmonies.
I didn't say that either.
She oversings.
Definitely oversings.
You think she oversings?
Yes, that growl shit is it's definitely oversinging.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, those are my 3.
Okay. All right, brother. It's on you.
Oh, you can try to go to me. I told you I ain't have listened either.
Well, you want me to go first?
Hey, I got some more on my list. I can give you mine.
No, thank you.
Hey, don't hate on my list.
Yeah.
You want me to go, brother?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so you know me, I always try to give diversity when I come with my songs. So
You got the ukulele on there?
No, I will start with gotta go with the Lord first. I'm going to start one of the songs that just put me in a good mood, get me out of my funk. Is "Victory" by Ty Tribbett.
Okay,
that's a good one. I will switch it over to pop culture. And this was one of my songs that was on a previous list. I don't remember exactly what the list entailed, but Good to Be Alive by Andy Grammer.
I think that was...
I don't know that one.
I think that was your good mood song.
Yeah, it was a good mood song. That was my good mood song. I can listen to that in the morning on my drive, and I feel like it's good to be alive. And it's not necessarily a song, but it goes back to the last episode that we had, because we had top.
I should have been on my phone looking for my song.
You should have. We had top 3 cover artists. And so I actually mentioned this in the last episode, and it goes back to me talking about my anxiety earlier and how, sometimes I can get really anxious, and
so anxious?
No. I will listen to Josh Chatofi. He was one of my cover artists that I mentioned last week. He's a Hawaiian artist.
The ukulele?
No.
Oh.
And all of his music is like real mellow and just kind of mellows me out. So all of his music, like I said, is some of it's in a different language, but it's a vibe. So those are my 3.
Okay. I will go. One from my previous list that will always put me in a good mood is Switch, I Call Your Name.
Okay.
Second one, I will say Outstanding. Always puts me in a good mood.
Okay.
Hey.
You cheating, but okay.
I'm cheating. I got to do a different one. Okay, I can do a different one. Okay. The second one I'm gonna do is I'll say John P. Key. Show Up. Oh, y'all hear my?
What is wrong with you?
I'll edit it out. Or I'll lower it.
It's okay.
So y'all know everything that's going on in here. Show Up on that one. And since I can't say Outstanding, my third one will be R. Kelly, Happy People. All right. This has been the 2 Cents You Call
Robert. Yeah, okay. I like that list. We gonna let you get away with Robert on that one, but I like that
Robert
list.
will make all of my lists. I'm sorry, but that nigga made some music.
Oh my God. All right, so we have come to the end. I want to say, Lani, thank you for joining us tonight. This has been an amazing conversation, and I think that the listeners will definitely appreciate all of the conversation that you provided for this one.
Thank you.
If they don't, shit, I did. I definitely appreciate the conversation. So thank you. You're always you've been a friend of the podcast. You listen, you comment, you give us your opinion. So we thank you for that.
Thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Anytime you be like, hey, I want to sit down and come on in, because you was the third cent, the third penny.
And then I left you to go on a hike on the mountains.
My brother, it's always a pleasure, man.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be doing this. I say this every episode, and I'm going to continue to say it.
I'm happy to see the conversations that we probably going to have after.
Oh yeah,
I press
stop. We definitely gonna keep going along with this. Thank you to all our listeners out there. We appreciate you.
Definitely.
If you've lasted this long, you are definitely a shot caller, and we appreciate you.
Definitely.
Comment. Tell us your top 3 songs. Tell us what you thought about the episode. Give us, any of the insight that you have on mental health. We want to continue this conversation, and we want to keep pushing this into our community.
On Thursdays, I'm going to try to send out that question or the show topic. So shot callers, if you got your topic that you want to bring, we got some topics, but we had a heavy show this week, so we couldn't get to everything. But keep sending those.
We
always need topics on the show that you want to hear us bullshit about, because
we appreciate them. Y'all know how we sign off. You can agree with us. You can disagree with us. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Father, fuck you.
But at the end of the day, man, that's just our 2 cents on it. Y'all have a good week. We'll see y'all next week.